On Tuesday, the 30th of March, 2021, Miss Natalie Dawkins, 44 years old, teacher and bailiff of 29 Denby Crawl, Maypen, Clarendon, was at her home when about 11:24, the alarm to her car went off. She was telephoned by her neighbor, and after that, she disappeared and has not been seen since. A report was made to the police on the 1st of April 2021, and an investigation commenced. All the protocols relating to missing persons were observed, including several searches carried out at different locations by the police. On the 3rd of the 4th, 2021, as a result of police intelligence, an operation was conducted in Bellas Gate, St. Catherine, where one Jeffrey Bedwards, 20 years old, of Bellas Gate and Sandy Bay, engaged the police in a shootout. He was shot and killed, and a .38 revolver seized. Also, a car which turned out to be that of Miss Dawkins. That's a blue Toyota Wish, which was actually stolen as well. 3 other persons have since been taken into custody in relation to the investigation. 2 television which we believe are the property of Miss Dawkins, were also recovered during a search of the man's house, the man who was fatally shot by the police. Unfortunately, this morning, during an operation in the Sandy Bay area of Clarendon, and based on information received by the police, a decomposed body of a female, which we believe is that of Miss Natalie Dawkins, was discovered. The scene is now being processed, and we hope that during the processing we will get valuable evidential material that will assist us with the investigation. We are convinced, based on our investigation, that Jeffrey Bedward, who was fatally shot by the police, was at Miss Dawkins' residence within the same period when she went missing, after 11 on the 30th of March 2021. And we are also confident that he was in the area where the skeleton remains of what were discovered. We have secured significant amount of evidence, both scientific and other types of evidence, in support of our investigation. And some of the things I cannot disclose, as you will understand, the nature of the investigation. We are confident also that we will get to the bottom. The motive for the killing of Miss Dawkins, we are confident that we will get to that. Again, I must commend our investigators. They have been on it from the 30th, round the clock. We want to say thanks to the public for the support that they have also given. And I think, as a law enforcement body, we may not be present, and we cannot be present everywhere at the same time. But one thing I will say, that we will pursue our investigation with all the energy and vigor as was manifested in this one. And those who continue to perpetrate crimes, we will get at you.
You mentioned, for instance, that we hope to get to the point where we understand a motive. Is it that we do not have a working motive that we are using to pursue the case?
We're looking at a number of theories, but none of them really is conclusive. So we hope that during this, before we conclude our investigation, we'll establish the real motive for the killing of Miss Dawkins.
You mentioned, well, we all know that she's a teacher. The Teachers Association was very prominent in her search, but you've mentioned that she's also a bailiff.
She was a part-time bailiff with working for a particular institution, company. I don't want to get into that.
Yes.
But she also did that work. We're also looking at the theory, was she taken away because of her work as a bailiff? Did she did something to someone in terms of maybe the possibility of seizing goods, and someone was aggrieved by that and decided to get at her? Those are some of the things that we are looking at.
You mentioned that there are 3 persons in custody.
Well, we don't want to get too deep in that, but what I will say, the brother of the deceased, that is Bedward, is in custody.
Yes.
And there are 2 other persons who we believe are persons of interest, and they can assist us with the investigation. You will appreciate the fact that our main objective was we were trying to find Miss Dawkins or her body. So a lot of effort and energy and focus was placed on that. Now that we have recovered the remain, which we believe is her body, we now will get into more of the final points of investigation, details in terms of interviews, etc. We also have other lines of inquiries which we are confident will assist us with the investigation, but I cannot get into those at this time. And I must say, technology again has assisted us. The science has assisted us significantly in this investigation.
Which speaks to the quality of the investigative capacity that went into this particular investigation. Was it just Clarendon, or was it a broader investigation from the various bodies within the JCF?
It was a joined-up investigation, and there were several elements, several departments within the JCF that assisted with the process, and they are still assisting with the process. And I think the public must be aware that we are getting better at what we do. We are building greater capacity in terms of investigative capacity, in terms of technology, in terms of the science. We are expanding our capacity. And I must say that the traditional detective type investigation was also manifested in this investigation.
You mentioned that her body, a decomposed body or a decomposing body was found, but could you speak a little bit more to the state of decomposition, how badly a state it was in?
It is badly decomposed based on what we saw on the ground in terms of the body parts are all over the area of interest. And we saw like female clothing, the skull is separated from the other part of the body, that sort of thing. It's a very, very bad state of decomposition.
And so looking forward, we are confident that interviews will begin or continue in short order?
Yes, it will continue. We are doing interview, but it will be more intense in terms of, and more focused in terms of our way forward. There are several lines of inquiries, including just several lines of inquiries that needs to be done.